Well, Sarah, you're at an ancient synagogue.
Oh my gosh.
And I told you to be black because the area stone is black. But what's significant is this Chorazim. And what did Jesus do? Woe to you, Bethsaida. Woe to you, Chorazim. Had he been in the synagogue? I have no doubt. He grew up not far away, and then he made his hometown Capernaum. And that's just very close to where you are right now. And so I'm sure he was here and taught in the synagogue again because the freedom of the synagogue. I said we're going to go in and see the seat of Moses and so forth, but this whole area, they're doing a lot of work here. When I was here in 2019, they had just discovered a wine press about 2 weeks earlier. And so new discoveries are made there all the time, and I see they've done a lot of work since I was here last. But let's go up and see if we can get in or not. I'm looking for the seat of Moses.
What does it look like?
It's basically a chair made out of stone. The first one was discovered at Tiberias.
Okay.
This is the second one ever discovered. So we read about it in the New Testament, but we'd never seen one until the one was discovered at Tiberias, and now this one that was discovered. So let me look around some more and see if we can spot it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go this way.
These are all the architectural drawings. So these guys are supposed to match what the archaeologists and architects have sat down and said, let's reconstruct it the way it was. So they've taken out the seat of Moses. It could well be that there was concerns related to this whole area having the stones begin to fall apart, the walls come down, and so the reinforcing, I see there's rebar here, and so they're probably just going to reinforce the floors and put down these stone pads. Okay, Sarah, this is being restored, and so the seat of Moses that's been here every time I've ever been here is not here now. It's somewhere around here. But in the front would be the ark containing the Torah, and the person chosen to go up, open the ark, take out the Torah, hold it up. Everyone is showing it honor. It's going to be laid out on the bema, the table, and a pointer is going to be used to read from it, both the Torah and the half-Torah. And then the seat of Moses would be sat upon.
Okay.
And what we'd call a sermon would begin. And so that's what would happen in the space. Now, where would the women be sitting? Do you know?
Would they put them in the back?
Yeah, they're not going to be with the men. Even today, in most synagogues, in Reformed synagogues, they're all mixed together. But in conservative synagogues, which is the next level of how conservative you are, how much Bible you believe, even there, usually the men and women are separated. Some have the men and women together. In Orthodox synagogues, they're always separated. And so they'll either be in the back or in a balcony. It's very common to find the women sitting in the balcony, sometimes on this side of a screen. Even when you watch weddings, a Jewish wedding that's an Orthodox wedding, at least if it's a very Orthodox, we sometimes say ultra-Orthodox, that's considered derogatory almost, but we'd say Hasidic, Hasidic Orthodox. They don't have the men and women together. The men are on this side in a large room with a wall between them, and they're dancing together. And on this side, the women are here, either watching the men or dancing together. And so it's done in a very different way. When we get down to the Western Wall at Jerusalem, you'll see the same thing. Men are on this side, and women are on this side. So that's how it's done. Now, let me mention on the Torah. The Torah is very expensive. Why? Because even now it has to be a kosher Torah. It has to be handwritten.
So, does that mean that there's not many out there, or?
That means it's not like our New Testaments
and
our Old Testaments, our Bibles. We just print them on paper.
Yeah.
But the synagogue will have one that's been handwritten on special parchment. It has to be special ink. It has to be approved by a rabbi. It has everything has to be done just right. And consequently, they are extremely expensive. They can cost tens of thousands of dollars for one. And so they treat them with great care. There's a cover put on them. And you'll see, I know your husband can see, because we can go some places you can't go when we go to Jerusalem. We'll go next to the Western Wall into a place that many Torah kept
Okay.
inside arks, and we'll be able to see this. But I'm trying to think if we're going into a synagogue someplace that you can see what I'm describing. There are many places you could go, but I'm not sure if we will on this trip. Okay, so restoration is going on here now, and the finds continue. There's so much going on here that had not occurred when I was here last. So this is a great place to come. Now notice you don't see any offering plates in here. Well, you wouldn't expect to.
Yeah.
But guess what?
So how are they funded, or how?
They never take up a collection
Oh.
on Shabbat. When they meet together, there's a reason why. They're not allowed to carry money.
Oh,
So a
okay.
person who wouldn't know, who may try to rob someone who's an Orthodox Jew on Shabbat, they're not going to get any money because they're not carrying any ever. So, no, today they basically make pledges and they have to bring the money at another time, or
Okay.
they can do it by a debit card, or they can do it in many different ways, but it's not a collection plate on the day they all come together. It's done
Okay.
in a different way. So, okay, let me just mention a passage from Matthew 23 that I think is important to know. When Jesus said, "Teachers, sit in Moses' seat, so you must do everything they tell you." That used to bother me because I'm thinking, these guys, they're big into the Talmud, and it's filled with superstition, it's filled with silliness. You have to do everything they tell you. It doesn't make sense. And then when I was reading one of my favorite commentators, C.H. Linsky, his commentary on that passage, and he stressed that the meaning there is everything that they're reading to you. They sit on Moses' seat, they're talking about the reading, and we need to obey God. But we sure don't need to obey everything they advocate, because a lot of it's really silliness. So.